Hei og folkens og internett, velkommen tilbake til en ny video. Mitt navn Bluedude, og vi skal nå fortsette på Little Orpheus. For episode så har vi kommet under havet. Vi har nå prøvd å unngå et monster. Vi har nå muligens klart å flykte her. Vi skal nå se her når vi kommer inn i denne episoden her. Wow.
I was alive, General. Somehow, miraculously, I was alive. Some twist of fate, some hand of destiny, but I was alive. Strange as this new world was, I knew Toll must have come this way, and it was my task to find him. And it happened like this.
I den ørken bare plutselig ble alt snudd på hodet her nå.
The sun beat down on me relentlessly. The heat was unbearable. I was exhausted. Yet I could not stop. I had to go on. For 7 weeks I trudged across the desert. On the second day...
Please, comrade, if we may. I think we can skip the details, unless you consider them to be particularly relevant to the location of Little Orpheus.
Of course, General. We will simply omit the tale of the singing chasm, the oasis of mirrors, the sightings of Toll's Mienk aloft on their pterodactyls carrying parts of my crashed rocket drill over the horizon to Lemuria.
Wait! The what?
Singing chasm?
Not that bit.
Lemuria.
The rocket drill.
Oh yes, General, the rocket drill. But what did Toll want with it? And why Lemuria?
Lemuria?
Lemuria, General.
I am not familiar with this Lemuria, comrade.
Well, that is because it does not exist, General. Or at least, so I thought.
Okay. Jeg tror ikke en følelse han kom til å... kanskje jeg ser om han... Det er ørkenlandskapet, altså. Jeg sier at han har overlevet i 7 dager. Hvor har du hatt mat? Har du hatt mat til å kunne overleve? Har du gått på do? Spørsmål, som jeg ikke vil få svar på. Det her er jo noe nytt sted å utforske. Magi, tenker jeg. Kan du stå i ro, please? Sånn, for eksempel. Sånn. Skal vi over her, sånn. Inn i... Det virker som en by, dette her. Lemuria er dette stedet, kanskje?
And they hummed. The whole city remade itself. Whereas they were missing, clearly looted by some villainous thief, the city was fallen to ruin.
Wow.
It was like a vast musical instrument, vandalized, and yet still attempting to toot.
Toot? Voldsomme krystaller her, det lurer som det har noe betydning, altså at det er noen magiske egenskaper, eller noen form for energi i de der. Jeg tenker jo litt med de bjellene, og det er jo krystaller i denne tingen her, så jeg lurer på om det er noe form for energi i de. Hva vet jeg? Dette har jo bare logget min, så har gått i...
I'm sure our engineers would be fascinated and baffled in equal measure. If the whole department hadn't been arrested for sedition last week, I would happily convey it to their skeptical ears.
Sedition, General?
Ow!
Really? It's unfortunate news indeed.
I am joking, comrade.
Oh boy. Her er bare lurebål, og beveg oss, ikke stå i ro på enkelte plasser. Pterodactyl jeg ser i bakgrunnen her. Noe sier man da dodger. Vi går inn. Så hvor er vi nå? I en eldgammel sivilisasjon i alle fall. Nesten bare lurer på om jeg har lyst til å sjekke inni her. Ja, det er en spake faktisk. Spake, så ligger det i kjolen. Skal bruke de til å skjule meg. Nice.
Oh yes, the Mienk for here, all right. Which meant whatever dastardly scheme Toll had, it was to be enacted on these burning sands.
And you will explain this in due course, I imagine.
Eminently, General. What you need to know first is this. I have told you already how parts of the devices the enslaved Mienk were forced to wear came from the surface.
Radio parts and so on, yes, from what you have told me. Assuming there were plenty of lost ships in the ocean as you claim, for Toll to have dredged up what he needed to assemble them.
Aha, good. You are one step ahead of me, General.
I said assuming.
Of course, assuming.
Assuming. Om dette her alt han forteller
as
sant
I
da.
gazed in awe at the buildings rising and falling around me, I realized that the other major component of those mind-controlling helmets was crystal.
Au.
Component of those mind-controlling helmets was crystal. Toll had raided Lemuria for them. He knew the city. He knew the crystals could amplify vibrations and waves, and was using them
det
to
är bra, den
boost
var
the
ju
signal of the
snällt.
radio parts to exert his control over the Minkf. Which meant
Det der altså crazy.
imagine, General, what such amplification could achieve when fused to the finest atomic science our great Soviet civilization has produced.
Så hva vil jeg skal gjøre her nå? Litt tauer er ikke så... Da... det gikk.
I do not understand.
Well,
You
then,
said Toll was planning on using the bomb to shatter the Earth's crust to return to the surface.
A tragic mistake, General. They had not recognized the extent of his mad ambitions.
You mean to imply Toll would have attempted to enslave the Russian people? Bah! The will of the Soviet citizen is mighty and strong.
To you, perhaps, as a trained warrior, but consider, perhaps instead, a humble son of a toy maker from Tomsk.
Ah, yes. Perhaps we have our share of simpletons, after all.
Tekst borte, det gikk fint, det. Det gikk fint. Så, hva skal jeg gjøre her? Får hans oppmerksomhet, muligens? Nei. Skal vi tilbake til den i alle fall. Sånn. Sånn. Hoppla. Det gikk fint, det gikk fint. Hørte han meg kanskje? Jeg tror ikke de har hørsel, siden de har maskene på seg. Haha. Skal vi se her. Hvor er vi?
The vast pictograms told of a history of wonders. They
Stilig.
seem to suggest the Lemurians were travelers from another world, where a mysterious clock seemed to stand.
That is very mysterious. As mysterious as the location of Little Orpheus, perhaps.
Yes, of course, General. I am just getting to that.
Det er litt sånn mystisk verden, men samtidig at han forteller alt dette han forteller kan være sant. Det er litt sånn vanskelig å tro. Generalen er i hvert fall skeptisk til det, så, men samtidig, alt det han har fortalt så langt har vært detaljert. Jeg skal over. Han beveger jo ikke seg, så... Tenker at jeg må ned til denne. Hva er denne jeg gjør? Aha. Vi skal på denne. Sånn her. Jo. Der. Fint sted å hoppe til. Nå! Det gikk fint. Nice. Dette
As I bravely explored that ancient city, a question was gnawing at my mind.
Okay, do tell.
What did it mean that the Lemurians had foreseen the coming of Toll? And who was the man from above that was celebrated as the savior of the Mienf? It was almost as if they could read the future in their crystals.
Right. Så det gjør det så vanskelig å tro om det han forteller er sant da. Så jeg holder litt med generalen samtidig.
The bells of
Man vet
Lemuria
det spiller.
tolled and tolled, a roaring symphony, a crescendo of peals that set the city dancing, each note causing the crystals to shimmer and cascade with light. But the sandstorm was no natural phenomenon,
Okay.
and the bells did not ring for celebration. Something was very wrong here.
Aside from the pterodactyls and the nymph and the dancing stones and the ancient magical prophecies and the crystals and now the giant bells, you mean?
If you don't want me to continue, General, then I can easily just quietly go home.
Don't think Chepucho will get you out of this one, comrade.
Nice dodge. Nå får vi en til, tenker jeg kanskje. Ser en her, ja. Det gikk. Det virker som vi er trygg for de pterodaktylene nå. Enn så lenge. Hva skjer her? Jeg er død. Så det ser sånne spesifikke plasser jeg skal stå. Der det rublet er. Der her rublet står. Skal jeg stå her. Sånn. Oh boy. Der det rubbel eller sånn. Der skal jeg stå opp. Det er fint, det er fint. Så her. Nydelig. Så kan vi trykke forbi dette her farlige stedet. Men nå får vi gjøre pterodaktylen igjen da, tenker jeg.
A righteous fire in my heart. I was like the Brinya Nikic, prepared to strike at the dragon who threatened my homeland.
Your heroism is only surpassed by your modesty.
On the contrary, General, I chose the Brinya carefully. Like him, I am a simple peasant. It was fate that chose me to descend to the Earth's core.
It was General Komanyin who chose you to descend to the Earth's core.
Ja.
But don't let that get in the way of your story.
Oh, well then, award General Polkovnik Kamanyin the highest medal in the world.
He already has several of those.
I cannot take credit for his wisdom in sending me.
Veldig fantasifullt og fantastisk gå da. Men samtidig, det han forteller dette her sant. Oh boy. Opp, de du. Så, hva det som her? Det ikke en bjella. Det noe annet enn det her. Og hva det Little Orpheus, det?
Was once a rocket drill ship, built to burrow into the earth, was now a mighty vessel, repurposed to blast off into the skies.
Det Little Orpheus inni den der, ikke det? Det jeg sikker på. Det der ikke trygt sted, du. Jeg skal over her, sånn, ok. Så var det noe, ok, jeg ser. Opp, klarer du oppe? Ja, akkurat. No!
There was no doubt that Toll was headed for the strange world with its clock. Although to what end, I was yet to understand. But there was no time to consider. No time for questions.
Tenk vi skal ned der, ja. Under sånn. Så ned på denne, og så bort her. Du klør ikke falle ned nå. Over her. Sånn, det gikk ganske greit da.
Toll was on the rocket. Little Orpheus was on the rocket.
You
And wherever they were
clown.
headed, I must head there too, to thwart his plans, recover my drill, and save the world.
Skal vi ut i verdensrommet da? Eller, hvor det egentlig på vei? Oh boy.
Will our enthusiastic yet disorientated hero be burnt to a cinder by the rocket's engines? Will he be smashed into the rock that surely must be beyond the Lemurian skies? Does Nikolai Petrovich Kamanyin really need any more medals? What was the strange clock, and what could it all mean? All of these questions, and more, will be answered, if you're extremely lucky, in the next exciting episode of
Little Orpheus. Ja, det var jo denne episoden av Little Orpheus. Vi har, jeg vet ikke hvor mange episoder igjen her nå. Jeg kan jo se her, men jeg har ikke lyst til å gjøre det. Jeg har ikke lyst til å gjøre det, jeg har lyst til å spare meg. Så hvis du er ny til kanalen, må du selvfølgelig abonnere. Denne må så trykk på tommelen opp, sett noe pris på, så inntil neste gang, folkens, snakkes med deg. Hei ho!
Yo, listen up, here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue like him. In inside and outside.